Hello again. This is video lesson number 6, and it will be much shorter than the last video lesson. I'm just going to touch on some high points that are necessary for you to have confidently understood in preparation for the test on Thursday. I want to remind you that the test on Thursday not only asks you to accomplish all the skills that I have had you practice in the class packet and the homework packet, but you also need to do those skills, demonstrate those skills in a timely fashion. You do not have unlimited time to take my tests. You will have 40 minutes during the first class period on Thursday. Everybody will log in, the test will be open for those 40 minutes, and you'll be done taking the test at the end of 40 minutes. So I'll talk to you more about the test, but right now I'm emphasizing not only to practice the skills, but know these skills confidently enough to have a speed to your answers. I will share my screen and talk to you about preparing for the test. So, practice, practice, practice. Video lesson number 6. What you'll need for this lesson is a calculator and your class packet. I'm not going to be in your homework packet this time. You can be working on your homework and checking that on your own. If you have questions about your homework, what are you going to do? The most important question that I ask you is, what do you do when you don't know what to do? Might sound stupid, but I'm serious. What do you do when you don't know what to do? You've got to take the authority to find how you can get help with gaining understanding in chemistry. This is an unusual year. I need to leave this responsibility in your lap, with me making all kinds of resources available to you. Remember, there is always 3 before me. Email me if you're having a problem, but I will first ask you, tell me what you've done to try to understand these problems. So we'll start with a little self-check. This should be fairly quick and easy for you. 3 dimensions are where you need the most, 3 and 2 dimensions are where you need the most help. This is not in your class packet. So I recommend that you take the time, look at these problems, jot down the answers on your own paper. It'll take you about 3 minutes to do all of these problems. Pause, come back, and we'll look at the answers. Pause now in the video. So I hope you've had a chance to truly evaluate your understanding. This is a self-check only if you do it legitimately. So here are the answers. How'd you do? This should be very cold and comfortable to you. Easy peasy at this point in the chapter. Notice that 2 of the answers, let me get the pen going. 1 minute. Notice that 2 of the answers have the same magnitude. Why do you think those 2 numbers are the same? It's because 1 milliliter equals 1 cubic centimeter, and 1 liter equals 1 decimeter cubed. It is not coincidental that those numbers are the same. Not the units, but the numbers. So this is a necessary skill. Here is another assignment that's not in the class packet. See if you're comfortable with accuracy and precision. I evaluated accuracy first and then precision. So on your own paper somewhere, scrap paper on the edge of a class packet, ask yourself about these. Would student A, if these data points represent data, would she be accurate and precise, or accurate and not precise, or not accurate and, yeah, those 4 options. For A, B, C, D, and E, answer, is it or is it not accurate? Is it or is it not precise? Pause. Really do this. You're only testing yourself if you do these exercises. So I hope you've answered the questions, and I can now look with you on these answers. I hope they're kind of comfortable to you, that this first one is not accurate because the average would be over here, and the true value is right here on this center line. Not precise either. You look at these questions, if one of them is confounding to you, well, there's always the possibility that I've made a mistake, but in lieu of that, find out why you might misunderstand something and try to correct your misunderstanding. Now, these are in the class packet. If you would open up to page 17 and 18 in the class packet, these 2 pages are what I'd like you to be working on now during this video lesson. These are practice problems that are legitimate and allow you to gain confidence and speed. So first, problem 1. On page 17, would you circle which of the quantities below are exact? Just look them over. How am I representing these numbers? What does it mean to be an exact quantity? I want you to stop or pause the video now and answer these questions. Circle A through G that are exact numbers. So I'm back, and the answer is A, B, and D. Why are they exact? Because they are either counted or defined. Those are the 2 criteria for exact numbers. It's only measurements that have a degree of uncertainty. This is an excellent problem to do. You could stop the video now and do all of the practice problems up to number 12. But I point out number 12 to you because it is one of the more difficult problems in this 2-page additional problems. And it has that complication of a trick that I told you about. Do you see that this problem has 2 numbers in it? It has a number that has a complex unit, meters per second, and it has a number that has a single unit, just kilometers. I always mention that when you start a dimensional analysis, write down the number you're given. Well, you're given 2 numbers here. And so which number do you start with? My rule of thumb, that is always the easiest way to approach a problem like this, is to start with the simpler number. So the first number you should write down is 9.5 times 10 to the 12th kilometer. And I would put it over 1. And now you go through the rest of the dimensional analysis. It is a long, complex one, changing kilometers into years. Now I want you to see that this unit right here is expressed to you as a ratio, but what it really means is 3.0 times 10 to the 8th meters equals 1 second. It really is an equality that can be used, watch my hands, it can be used with one number on the top or the other number on the top. You can flip these numbers and make this equality into 2 conversion units. So pause. Can you do this? This is the most of I would expect of you on the test. Pause and come back when you're done. have the answer here for you. This is the answer as found in Schoology. So you start with the simpler number and look at here how you had to use what was given to you as a fraction. You had to put the 3.0 times 10 to the 8th meters on the bottom of the fraction to make a conversion unit that did convert meters to seconds. So I highly recommend that you do the rest of this additional problems. It will give you the confidence and the speed you need to perform well on the test. So in summary, we are to the end of the chapter. By the way, I'm going to cancel video lesson number 7. You may just have the time to review and study on your own tomorrow. Although between you and me, you should be done by the night before the test. Look at the concept map on the cover, on the front page of your class packet. Can you answer multiple choice questions which require having read the book to learn the concepts? There are a lot of concepts in this chapter. The terminology at the bottom of the concept page has to be well understood. Multiple choice deals with these kind of concepts. Can you solve dimensional analyses problems in 1, 2, and 3 dimensions? Remember, it's your work that is worth more than the answer. Can you use the conversion factors quickly on the back of the class packet? You will be able to use that one page on the back of the class packet throughout the test. I don't expect you to know how many grams are in a pound. That you would look up. But notice this blue. You do need to know the designated metric prefixes that I've indicated in Schoology. You have to know what deci, hecto, kilo, mega, micro, etc. mean for prefixes in the metric system. Above all, it is one thing to know this material. It's another thing to know the material with the confidence to do it in a timely way. When you get up to AP and IB tests, even the Regents exam, there are time limits that are actually manageable. I write my own test. You should be able to do that test in 40 minutes. I've got to hold you accountable for a time frame. Get used to doing problems to gain confidence and acquire a timeliness with your answers. So that's all for this video lesson. As I said, I'm canceling the video lesson for tomorrow. There will be no video lesson number 7 on this chapter, but I hope that you've had the practice to understand confidently the concepts and the problem solving in this chapter. What do you do when you don't know what to do? Consider your options. Get help. Look into my resources. Watch a video done by another person. I have lots of good resources on Schoology. Best of luck to you. Goodbye.